this is just me allowing art to form. It's like Spirit and I are both creating it, but it's like I feel like I don't even draw this sometimes. And we also have to give our demons a proper voice and channel these things in the proper outlets. You know? Yeah, you do. You do. You have feelings and stuff. And you are lucky if you've never experienced severe trauma. Especially... Holy shit. So I decided I would just do like a 2-part video for funsies, because like I love myself. I actually like myself, and I like making life fun, dude. Like, what's wrong with that? I'm a clown, a poet, I make music, I draw. I am a full-time artist. That is my job, okay? At the same time, okay, so I'm just trying to figure out how to, like, say this. But I follow my passions. Like, I have a job that I work for a smoke shop, and I love it because it's aligned with my passions. Therapy and medicine. Because we aren't taught these things. They teach us that cannabis gives you schizophrenia and gets you, like, possessed by the devil, when that's like the furthest thing from the truth. And it's nice to live in a state where that's legal now, where I live. But I've always known that God's law is the only law that is important, and the government isn't doing its job because they're abusing their citizens, prescribing children amphetamines just to teach those children that if they ever use amphetamines, they're gonna be possessed by the devil. And yeah, try getting raped. I'm pretty sure that's what does that, actually. And amphetamines can be very dangerous when misused. Are chainsaws illegal? Because I'm not incompetent. I don't know about you, but I want you to be a healthy, happy, responsible, intelligent human being as God made you to be. At least in the sense of having humanity. You know, compassion, being a good human, because that's what's important. That's what's important. We aren't supposed to be perfect. Like, this is not my best work, I don't feel like, but it's also far from done, and I'm just talking and getting that out, because expression is the most powerful medicine. Way more powerful than any drug, and this is coming from an ayahuasca shaman. Regardless if you know anything about that, regardless of whether you know that you have a spirit and that you can talk to God from within your own soul. And true leaders lead us to ourselves. And you know what? We already should know right from wrong from within ourselves. And we need to stand up against things that are not healthy or moral. They prescribe children amphetamines just to teach them that amphetamines are the devil and to abuse innocent human beings with health issues. Because do you know what addiction is? Yes, you do. And if you say no, well, you're just pretending, because it's clearly trauma and lack of human connection. And whenever we shit all over those people, Sorry, I'm still figuring out how to do this, and we're just gonna deal with the camera angle being wonky if it is. When you abuse people who are down already, you just make them get sicker. Just make them get sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. I am healing myself. And I don't do these things for external validation. I need to help in any way I can. And I feel like this world needs to see someone with their process of healing and working through the trauma. And you don't need to see anything too ugly. I'm not saying that, okay? But you need to know that you're allowed to express your negative emotions and heal your trauma, and that we need to do so constructively. And as I'm finally figuring these things out, but like for real, like I've already known some of these answers for a long time, but knowing them is not the same thing as applying them. And in September, I started forcing myself, like, with my actions in this world, when I was scared, to do the right thing, and I did it anyway. Like, my parents taught me that there was something wrong with me when there wasn't. And they abused me, and it made me feel worthless, and insecurity ruined my life. For a long time, 18 years. And I knew that, hey, wait a second. Human beings are creatures of habit, and we have to rewire our brain, which means that I have to make myself do the things that make me happy even though I'm sad, until it's like normal. It's like, if I am really camera shy because my parents told me that I was a stupid, worthless, emo faggot for wanting to care about and respect everyone and express myself, that's wrong. And I'm a very right-brained person. I feel like sometimes... Hold on a second. Oh, fuck. You know, I'm just gonna let you fucking witness this. At least auditory wise. It's like, I just can't with this world, man. This society we live in, where it's like we're all taught to abuse ourselves and one another. I don't know. What was I gonna say? It's just like so much that I need to say. It's hard to even keep track of it sometimes, but that's why God is running things. Because spirit, it always, like, if I forget something, if I like, I'm like, dang it, how do I balance all these thoughts that nobody else wants to think and somebody has to think about them so we can reach resolution? And I've like known this for a long, long time, actually. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? But like, I'm happy to do it, bro. Like, I just want to make the world a better place. I just want people to love themselves and one another. Like, I'm not happy that this world's fucked up, but considering, okay, you know what? Like, God doesn't give you a job that you're not cut out for, but you have to, like, listen to your spirit and allow your spirit to flow freely with pure intentions. And hold yourself accountable. And I need to share the final process of this because we don't know how to even be human anymore. Apparently it's weird, like people are all like materialistic and they like are, I feel like so many people are like afraid of true happiness because they don't know what the fuck that is, because their parents taught them to abuse themselves, and then everybody's been victim blaming them so long or something, they just are like, okay, I'm gonna shut up and just like abuse other people now. Like, is that what's going on, guys? Because that's silly, and just do the right thing. You have to do the right thing no matter what. Like, I can't do anything else. I won't do anything else other than the right thing. Like, even if my entire society is telling me, no, don't express yourself, you emo faggot. You're not allowed to be gay, you'll go to hell. We don't want to hear you about anything. Don't express yourself because you might heal yourself and be happy. I'm not gonna listen. Because it's not right. And that's what it feels like, man. Nobody wants me to be happy. It feels like. That's not true. There are good people. I have to battle the worst of the worst because nobody else wants to stare the devil in his eyes and say, what, pussy? You scared, bitch? Yeah, you are, huh? Because evil is fear is weakness, and it's taken so much work to figure this shit out. And it's like, you don't have to agree with me, but like, holy shit, dude, I would never, ever, even abuse people in the way that some people have me in the comments. Like, and that's why I come back hard. Because we've been turning the other cheek to abuse. Like, children aren't taught to be responsible adults. They're taught to abuse themselves with medicines and only listen to doctors who don't care about them so that they can stay sick and stagnant. But do not get the wrong impression, because hard drugs are dangerous. Like, we have fucking supercomputers that fit in our pockets. So, like, anybody who needs to know any information about that kind of thing, you can literally research it and make sure that you're safe. So I'm not gonna, like, overparent people because I care about every single sentient being that exists anywhere, even, and I can't understand people not doing that. And I'm not ashamed. You gonna tell me? You're not allowed to care, you emo faggot. Stupid, just be miserable like the rest of us. Then, like, I'm definitely not gonna listen. But I know it's only, like, maybe half of the people who think like that. But I've been living under a rock as a hermit because I have had to get away from all these heathens who worship materials and just want to disrespect themselves and everyone and everything else whenever they're so depraved that they just want to stick their dick in anything for some external validation because mommy and daddy never loved them and they probably need to work through the rape trauma, and it's like all over the place and it's disgusting. And I've been abstinent for about 5 years because I would sever myself before I ever desecrated my temple again. And I will die physically the next time I die, because I will never die mentally, emotionally, or spiritually again. But I will feel my emotions so that they don't bog me down. and allow themselves to get out in the most constructive ways possible, and do my best to help others heal in any way I can, because this world is sick and we need healing. And I feel bad for not starting this whenever I would like this channel and talking about things on the internet when I was like 16, or whenever I first had that thought, like, yeah, dude, they halfway got to me, but I've always known better. But I just had to make sure I knew what I was talking about, man. Like, oh my god, what's up with these people who, like, just post all this shit on social media and they don't even know what they're talking about? Do you think it could be because, like, their parents never loved them and society's taught them wrong, and everybody's, like, sick and hurting and just suppressing their trauma because they've been told that they're not allowed to express themselves? And maybe that's what's wrong? You think maybe that's what's wrong? Holy fuck. I know myself. So I don't care what other people think, especially when they're being abusive. And it just bothers me that anybody could be like that. And you're gonna have to forgive me for having to talk about it, because it's not my fault, and I refuse to take responsibility for things that are not my fault. But I will always take accountability for anything I need to take accountability for, and we're supposed to help each other. You see things in some ways better than I do, because everybody's like that. Everybody's gifted in some way. Everybody sees something that other people don't see, and that's why we've been divided and conquered, so they could extort us for basic human needs. Because don't tell me you don't have power or talent or something, man, because you do. Like, just do what you really love with pure intentions, but obviously we have to deal with this society, you know, and figure things out. We can't just, like, say fuck you and not have money and die because we can't eat or something. But we're making this world a better place. Like, that's the only option. And if you think anything else, you're a heathen. I don't want to be so mean. You guys made me mean. I've always been the nicest person fucking ever, and you abused me for it. Since I was 11. And now I'm 29. And it's taken me this long, because I can't believe my mom and dad would have ever treated me so terribly. Because I didn't really want to have kids, but I think I am obligated to once I'm like 50 and I've healed completely and also gotten my like living fully out of the way. I feel obligated to have a kid just to make sure that you know, I just want to, if I have the ability to raise a kid right into a happy, healthy, successful adult who's not traumatized in this world where so many people are abusing their kids because they shouldn't even be having kids. Like, stop doing what other people tell you to do the right thing. Instead, if people are telling you shit that's not right, in the best way you can, it's the healthiest for everybody, but do whatever you need to, do the right thing. Also protect yourself from evil. The only time you're allowed to use evil's dirty tricks is against evil. Duh. Like, as if narcissists don't just, like, blame their victims for, like, oh my god, it's like you hold a narcissist accountable, and then they tell you that you're doing everything else and just want to fight and fight and fight and refuse to take accountability. So yeah, don't have kids if you're not ready, because I swear to God, if I ever see anybody abusing their kid, they won't be able to anymore, because I'll give them so much love. But, yeah, I'm allowed to be silly, I'm allowed to be a clown, I'm allowed to be extreme, otherwise you wouldn't even listen if you're conditioned too much. But if you're not a total heathen, Thank you so much. God loves you. And heathens, God loves you, but stop betraying God and follow virtue. Have morals and respect and compassion. Love yourself, live your life, and thrive.